All right, folks, welcome back here. We're on Game 5 of our Best of 5 series. We have our now, let me introduce ZerkerMan. He's spotting in the top right position here. He's now playing Zerg, but he's been through both Zerg and Terran in this Best of 5, switching it up. He's got some pretty good build diversity. We've seen some crazy plays, some crazy map choices out of him, so this is a huge map here. I personally love this map, especially as a Zerg. You can get into some crazy macro games. And then let's go ahead and introduce OPSxMARS here. He's our now orange Protoss spawning on the bottom left, so we got the cross spawn position on this huge map. I expect to see a macro game here. Although OPSxMARS does, at least in this series, has really shown to have a penchant for these one base plays, so we'll see what he decides to do on this map. I'll give it to my buddy here, Slim. He's my co-caster, and tell us what you think about this matchup.
Well, on this map, especially on cross positions, like this map, it can go any way, Zerg or Toss. Zerg definitely has a late game advantage if he can do just a little bit of harass in the early to mid game. Something about this map too is, well, I guess this guy picked the wrong version of it, but in this season update, this map no longer has rocks.
Oh, yeah, he did pick the one with the rocks, so that's not good for Zerg here.
Yes, like this was a very hated map by a lot of Zerg players because they had to destroy rocks in order to take their third base.
Yeah.
That's why they fixed it in the new season change, but he picked the old version of this map. So I feel like this Zerg player now is at a disadvantage.
Yeah, so we'll give them the option to remake if they want to. If that was just an honest mistake, we'll see if they're going to go ahead and do that, or if they just want to play. And Protoss player will not get the block on that hatch, though. That would have been huge, especially since he can't take that third. And it looks like we do have the Forge down, so we are going to see the Forge fast expand. We should see the Nexus go down here as soon as we get to 400 minerals for our Protoss player. Ooh, and he's going to try to maybe put, cannon rush that natural. He does take down that probe, so he should be able to hold this off. Although that does do some economic delay. Oh, and he does cancel those pylons, so doesn't have to worry too much about that. But so we'll see where they take this. Again, this fact that these rocks here on this third is really a bummer for our Zerg player, especially versus the Forge fast expand. That just makes it that much more difficult for them to stay in this game.
Well, yeah, like I don't know what really else to say on that fact because Zerg just in the early games especially, all he wants to do is build drones. But with these rocks here, they have a +3 armor, so Ling's only do 2 damage to him. So he's gonna need, if he's gonna want to take that third, he's gonna have to go for roaches just a little bit faster, just so he can take out the rocks in a decent amount of time so he can put his third up. But regardless of the fact, his third is gonna be delayed by a good 3, maybe 4 minutes.
And looks like he's just scouting here with these Lings, maybe trying to find his Protoss opponent and see what's going on. He did, I guess he didn't. Did he get? Yeah, he has not scouted our Protoss yet.
Well,
although now that he has that Overlord, he knows exactly where he is. He's going to run down there with those Lings. He'll see everything that's going on. Although I think that, you generally as a Zerg player come to expect the Forge fast expand on a map like this. Although that can get you into trouble if you don't scout it and they really go into some kind of one base play. So.
Well, this map is actually pretty hard to get a Forge fast expanded because you have such a wide gap right here. As you can see, he's used 4 buildings so far, and he still has a pretty large gap. He's going to need to fill that in with a cybernetic or a possible second gate.
And interesting here from our Zerg player, even before the 540 mark, he has 2 gases up, fully mining, so maybe he did lose to some early one base all-ins from OPSxMARS earlier in the series, so maybe he's just being a little more cautious, wants to get that roach worn up just a few seconds sooner, get some of those roaches out and not really lose to some kind of early all-in like he has done. Also, maybe he might be looking to get those roaches out. It's going to take these Lings a while to break down these rocks, although he will do it. But again, that just basically favors Protoss. Protoss usually likes to come in and sometimes pylon block that third or put up a couple cannons, and now he doesn't even have to do that. It's the map does it for him. So, but it's not the end of the world. Zerg can still win on this map. Definitely, we'll see how he handles it.
So as we can tell from the way the Toss's player is macroing right now, we know he's not going to go for some really super fast gateway all in. And a good determining factor of this is he built a robo bait after his first gate,
Hmm.
which this essentially means he's going to go for more of a robotics play. Basically, and he took his 4 gases like really fast. What we're going to see here is an Immortal Sentry all in. As soon as that robo bait is done, he's already putting down his additional 3 gateways. He's going to put up approximately about 3 more. He's going to want 6 gates. He's going to pump out a bunch of sentries and immortals. Then he's going to start again working on the stalker tech.
Yeah. And we do have a small engagement going up here back at Zerg's, I guess where he's planning to put his third base. Those rocks still up. He's going to send those zealots over there. Not really going to get too much scouting information. They're going to get surrounded and taken out with minimal losses from our Zerg player. He's going to continue to work on those rocks. But this third will be significantly delayed because of those destructible rocks. And then, like you said, and yeah, he is actually, so he's now supply blocked, but he is going to go ahead and put that observer out first. So that's interesting.
The bullet scouts, though, is they put Tuss in a very comfortable position because he knows our Zerg player is making more lings and he's not making drones. Because his army of Sentry Immortals will completely crush lings if he has decent force field usage.
And this is an interesting choice here, too. Our Zerg player has the Baneling nest down now, and he's working on his lair tech. He has no Evo chambers up yet. He's throwing down another 2 gases, and he does have that third up. So interesting to see what he's going to do with his Baneling nest. That's not a standard. You don't usually see Baneling nest come down first against a Protoss player, but he did say he was going to try something different. Oh, and he does have the Baneling, so morphing in. So our Protoss player does not even have his warp gates out yet. He does have a bunch of sentries. I don't know if they'll get out in time, but these Banelings could get in, possibly take down this wall. If he can sneak by the wall, he can go ahead and pretty much decimate this probe line, and that would be pretty significant for a Zerg player. And he's bringing more Zerglings now. His Zergling speed is finished, and he does look like he threw down a gateway. He will get that complete wall up off. He now has 4 Stalkers, although this number of Banelings can pretty much tear through that. The Observer will see exactly what's going on, and here he goes. He's going to throw up that force field, work on that forge, and those Banelings just having trouble getting through to anything. Those Zerglings are actually blocking their path, although he is forcing those force fields out. Eventually, those sentries will run out of energy.
That was a very good force field play. Like, most Toss would have overcommitted and would have threw down like 5-6 force fields. He only threw down 3, and he did it at very good timing. And the thing is, this Toss player has seen this incoming because you see he has an observer over his
Ooh, and these Banelings just, I feel like he should have sent those Zerglings in first, maybe drop a couple of force fields. He does bring down that forge, but again, with that sentry count just continuing to rise, he's still got significant energy on some of his sentries now. Well, yeah, he's got at least enough energy for another 5 or so force fields, so looks like he may be able to hold this off. Our Zerg player spent a lot of gas in those Banelings. He did take out a forge, but this army continues to grow. He's got a ton of sentries. He's got the Immortal now, and I really don't know if he's going to be able to do much with this. He may continue to commit since he's so far in now, but he does have that third up. It wouldn't be the end of the world, although his drone count is pretty low. He's at 41 drones. Protoss is up at 51, so if he doesn't end it here, he's going to be in some significant disadvantage. But again, this is really nice force field play. It's good that he got this wall up. I feel like maybe our Zerg player had a little bit of an opportunity at the beginning before he had this count, but he kind of waited, and that may have cost him now. And this observer, again, is still here. He sees everything that's going on. Not able to take out that gateway. And even if he does, what is he going to be able to do with all these sentries and just a few lings?
Yes, the bad thing about this for our Toss player is his macro is quite slipping. Look at all these minerals he has. Even if he can't work in a bunch of Stalkers, just work in Zealots. Spend that money.
Yeah, definitely.
Money in the bank, it's not doing anything good for you. It just means that you're not macroing properly. He needs to power up these gateways again. He's putting up probably an overcommitment on the pylons there. Did not need 7. But
he's just basically making a double wall off here with these pylons, and I don't know if, I don't necessarily agree with that either.
He worked in some Dark Templar running across the middle of the map. Our Zerg player has no knowledge of him having a Dark, and he has no detection on the field.
Yeah, he does have that layer up. He will be able to go ahead and maybe, I don't know if he's watching these Zerglings, he might be able to see that slight shimmer, but we'll see. So let's follow these DTs across the map here, And they will go ahead and take out the Zerglings, so if he's paying attention, he will know that something's up, and I feel like, yeah, that's the right move. Ignore the Zerglings, go focus down some probes. Definitely a wise choice, although he will see, and he misses with that Baneling, although that's a smart choice. There we go, if he just detonates those Banelings, he can take out, And he is going to take out, not all of them, though. And
The zealots, I mean, the Dark Templar themselves were targeting banelings, and that's what killed them.
He does have that forward pylon warping in. Again, that DT there is good.
That really was. He put 2 in the middle of both bases. He should have left it somewhere outside, maybe below the bridge.
And, you know, this army does look huge. It seems like a gigantic army, but if you look, it's actually made up of mostly sentries here, so those force fields are going to be key. If he can get in to get that surround, although he does have a bunch more zealots coming in, and I think this might force a GG, although there's a significant number of banelings morphing in here. He's now got 25 banelings morphing in on the field, so although those force fields are going to block him, he's going to take out the natural, he's going to take out the third, and, you know, this is pretty much going to end the game here, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be a GG. He just took out Zerg's natural. He's about to take out all these drones at the third and the third itself. He needs to watch behind him.
Yeah, ooh, nice force fields blocking off that ramp there. You know, he's just going to have free reign in this third. He has 1 macro hatch. He has the main game. He's getting frustrated, and I think we're going to see the toss OP. Yeah. You know, as a Zerg player, I get frustrated. I tend to say that sometimes too, but I feel like he didn't play his best play on this matchup.
That was major. Like, he just decimated the toss army. I feel like the toss should just pulled out. He did enough damage. He could have kept his army.
Ooh, and a nice surround here, taking out all those stalkers. Ooh, and he does have blink research, but he may still take out. Yeah, and he's getting that surround again. He might be able to blink out one more time, but either way, they're going to be able to clean up those stalkers.
He killed 48 workers. He took out the second and the third. He should have just pulled out his army. Right now, Zerg doesn't have much of a chance, but
and these DTs, even with the detection, these DTs are just shredding through these Zerglings here. Does he even have a roach? He has an infestation pit and a baneling nest out. So this is really interesting play. Not something you see too often. He will clean up those DTs. I guess that is only at the cost of minerals. But at this point, Zerg is on 1 base. Protoss has 2. He's taken. Oh, now he's actually got a third up. So he's in a huge advantage. It's just a matter of time before he moves in and destroys our Zerg player here. And we have the pause coming up. ZerkerMan complaining about the map, and you know, he's asking for the replay. We did give him the option at the beginning. Don't post this game.
Yeah, it's a bit late.
Yeah, I feel like that was a missed opportunity. I agree with him. This map, you know, that's why Blizzard did spot that. They did remove it. At least the destructible rocks from the third, and you know, with the current metagame, that's definitely a hindrance. But you know, you know, he went all in on it. He played, you know, so he had his chance. So yeah, I feel like that was a good game. That was a good series. The series is going to go to OPSxMARS. You know, hopefully in the future they'll go ahead and have a rematch. I know, you know, some of those games it looked like they were just having fun, and that's what we'd like to see here. So you know, I think as a referee, we're pretty much going to have to call this game a unanimous decision. How do you feel about that, Slim?
Yeah, this Zerg player had a chance to get his rematch in before they scouted each other, but you know, he just didn't take the opportunity. He felt like maybe he could have all-in and won it, but since he lost, now he wants the rematch, which is not the sportsmanly thing to do at all.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and the GG. Okay, so that's you know, that's the end of a best of 5. It was a good series. It came down to the last game, so you can't really ask for much more than that. ZerkerMan's a little upset, but you know, like I said, I think he played well. You know, he had the destructible rocks. He could have resetted the game. You know, he was being a good sport. He figured, we're already here. Let's just go for it. Let me try something new. You can't hurt it. You know, you can't hold that against him. You know, we know that wasn't his best play, so we're not gonna, you know, say, oh, you know, OPSxMARS without a doubt is the better player. You know, he won on this one on this series, and that's that. But you know, other than that, I think it was a good series.